Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Rocket City Reseller Presents Launchpad. Whether you've been reselling for 20 minutes or 20 years, surely there's something that we can learn together. I am joined by some of the most prevalent resellers in the game today. You may know her from One and Done on Whatnot. You may know her from Toy Frenzy, Saturday Night Toy Frenzy. You may know her from the Plush and Toy Rate Train, hosted by Gulf Coast Pickers. The one, the only, She Shed 244. Welcome in, Ashley. Thank you for hosting. And last but not least, our resident guru in all things toys, Tennessee Treasures, Ellie. Hello, Ellie.
Hey.
What is up, guys? How are you doing? How's your week in reselling? Oh, and I'm Bob, the Rocket City Reseller.
I was like, He was like, I don't need to show my. Yeah.
I just do things. I sell stuff. Yeah. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Chrissy? Chrissy's in the chat. Colin's on the move. If you're not following Chrissy on Whatnot, make sure you are, because she has all things dollhouse related and more, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
What is up? What is up? So, how's your guys' week in reselling, Ellie? What's going on with you? How's business? How's
slow? It's been a slow week. I did okay on Whatnot, a couple of shows. Not great shows through this winter storm that's going on. It's been slow. I got one sale on eBay. Sold a Cabbage Patch doll for $30.
Okay, so I'll take that. Ellie, tell the people how much you paid for that Cabbage Patch doll. You think?
Oh, that was at the bins. Had to be maybe $1.89. Yep.
$1.89. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. It's a great flip.
Yeah.
There, and the nostalgia just keeps coming. Speaking of nonstop nostalgia, Ashley. That's one of the other trains that I might have not mentioned.
That's one of the other. That's hosted by Kaylee Grin, one of my favorite trains.
Kaylee Grin, if you're not following her too, man.
Make sure you're following Kaylee Grin.
I'm telling you, this is popping off. If you're not on here, and this is what the episode's about. Ashley, how's your week in reselling?
So today was the hustle. I would say crud. I'm pretty slow this week. I think I only have a few shows this week. I think I have one this week and then everything this weekend. So I'm loading for everything in February, hoping to stack all those raid trains coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we'll get to that tip and trick in a minute, how to keep your shows loaded and stacked up, because that's important, so people can find you and you start becoming consistent, all the things. My week in reselling looked a little different this week. I was recently kicked off Depop. Come at me, Depop. What the hell is going on?
That's crazy.
Wow.
Context is everything. So Depop, apparently during fourth quarter, man, we were turning and burning. It was absolutely nutso for us, Gonzo. And I think they were telling us, hey, don't do a thing. Hey, don't do it. Don't do this thing. Did it again. Stop doing this thing. So that happened. And then it basically was, we were listing LankyBox. So apparently it was being zeroed and we didn't know. So there are a few things that you cannot list online without getting in trouble. LankyBox is one. Among Us is another one. T-Turtles. I've gotten zeroed for all three of those items. So what a Vero is a strategy.
T-Turtles.
Yeah, it's like the owner thinks that they can prevent you from selling an item that you actually own, which is against the terms of, I don't know, it's like federal law. You can't stop a reseller from selling something. So there's been law passed for all that stuff where, if you own an item, you have the right to resell it on a market. And I guess their thing is that it's not worth the hassle maybe in litigation. Mm-hmm. So Depop is very, very strict, and they lawyer up real quick. So if you're selling on Depop, just know if they're emailing you, you got to really be on it and stop doing the things that they're telling you to stop doing. So that's my bad for not communicating with my partner and my wife. So who does this full time? So she was busy doing other things and I didn't catch it, and here we are. So Depop, that happened, and it can happen to you too. So just be careful. Use me as a use case. We sold about 200 items since starting on Depop. So I mean, for us, it's a lower going through platform, I guess. We're just setting up on it. I'm not saying that it doesn't seem little, but I would have loved to grow that area, but it's not for us right now. So I could challenge it. A good friend of ours, Thrift and Thrifters, said, hey, I got mine reinstated, and this is how I did it. They went through Twitter. I said, don't go through customer service. Go to Twitter, and I guess make some noise, and basically they'll reinstate you. So there are ways around that kind of thing. So if you have also been banned by Depop and you want to try to get your account back, that is a way to do it. And then also sales, they've been slower than normal, but there's reasons for that. Well, actually not. We actually re-stimulated. We've been going through an inventory, right? So we went through 330. Well, I said we, my wife went through 336 totes of inventory, 105 quart totes of stuffed animals. I don't even know how many items that is, but I think it's like 8,000 items in 13 days, and touched every item to ensure that it was in our inventory control system, which we use nifty.ai. I think everybody knows that by now. To do so, and she did it in 13 days. So that's an average of 25 to 26 posts a day. So shout out to Amanda, my wife, Fiona's Finds and whatnot. She is absolutely killing it. She's crushing it. And she's just about got all her whatnot stuff loaded up too. So that's what's happening. We can resell. This weekend we did about $900 in sales, and go to the post office to drop them off today. There's one guy there. His name I'll leave out because I don't want to shout him out on the internet, but he's the only guy. Not even the postmaster showed up. No drivers, no carriers. He is the only gentleman that decided that he was just going to come in, and the roads weren't that bad. We got a lot of ice and snow here in North Alabama, but yeah, so that's what's happening in our world. That's just some crazy. Of the quick stories. There's much more than that happened this week, but yeah, we'll get to the episode because that's what you're here for. What not to do? No, what to do on whatnot. And we've been trying to promote this for the last 2 weeks to make sure that we get as many people in here. And if you're watching this in playback, I just want to say for the record, if we do have any issues with latency, just sharing screens or anything like that, I'm also going to edit this video after the fact, and I'm going to try to put it through and see what we can do to make that whole. Also, we've been talking about potentially recording an episode of all the information that's talked about today. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that you can ask questions along the way. This may end up being a multi-part series in the beginner's guide. So this is a beginner's guide to whatnot, and I'm going to stop talking and let Ashley take over it.
All right. So I'm going very to the nitty gritty. All we're doing is we're looking at the basics desktop version, which it's going to vary depending on how your desktop is set up. If you're looking at it through an iPad, iPhone, Android phone, it's all going to look a little bit different, but it's similar in the process. But we're just touching on the different screens. We're not diving in depth into anything. We're just touching on, and then I'm going to build on some of those key points. So let me share my screen.
Sounds good. Let's do it. We're going to try to something that is oftentimes not done well because of connection issues and other things, latency. Host that is StreamYard is what we use. So we'll see what we can do. So they oftentimes don't do tutorials, but we're gonna do one live. And make sure you get those questions in as we go along. If you have something, then we'll post them up for Ashley in chat, and we'll get them on the screen so that she can see them. Or I'll interrupt you, Ashley.
Yeah.
If there's a question.
Just interrupt me because right now, and that's mine. If I look crazy, y'all, I can't see y'all right now. I'm just seeing the screen y'all are seeing. Right. So I'm going to also try to be a little bit slower and in describing what icons look like, because I know we have some of our audience members that are listening. So I know some of it's going to be hard for me to transcribe that way, but I'm going to try my best. So
I think what Ashley means is we're broadcasting to Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify and you want to actually see this, check us out on YouTube and for the tutorial. But I want you also to feel free to listen, because there might be a tidbit or something that's talked about along the way that might actually spark something within you to help your business grow in 2026, which is the point of this podcast.
Absolutely. All right. So what we were looking at is once you log into Whatnot on a desktop computer, this is what it looks like. So in the top left-hand corner, you're going to see the Whatnot logo. If you actually currently in the status that is being shown right now, this is the buyer version. You can actually click on that Whatnot and you can switch to your selling format. And that's what you're seeing highlighted right here, that you can actually click on this and swap out. So you can switch to selling there. Some of the key components that we're going to be touching on is the different buttons and everything that's at the top. The first thing I want to just kind of touch on is the left-hand side of the screen. So we talked about you have the Whatnot logo. You can switch to selling. Right now you're in the buyer format. Underneath the Whatnot, it's going to say, hi, your username. Underneath that username, it's going to automatically populate the For You page. So basically, different sellers that you've looked at, different type of items that you've looked at, it's populating like basically similar to your Facebook For You page. So you're going to see different sellers that are currently on and what they're selling. Directly underneath the For You, you're going to see followed host. So this is everybody that you follow. You're going to be able to see their shows, what time they're going to be up, all that sort of information as well. And then directly underneath the followed host is now where you start getting into the categories. So for me, when I'm buying, I'm in the other toys category, toys and hobbies, plush, vintage toys, estate sales, and storage units. That's going to be different for everybody based on where you're buying from. So that's basically just your categories. So all this is on the left-hand side. So that's the first thing we're touching on. The next thing I want to touch on is right next to your Whatnot symbol on the far left, you'll see a home page. That's where we're at. This is the home page of Whatnot. Then next to that, you'll also see the word browse. And then next to it, you have an open space that has the little magnifying glass. And that's where you can actually search on Whatnot. So if you're searching for an item, you're searching for a seller, a product, a show, you can actually just type in that item basically like you would on Google. So I just use Furby as an example because we all love Furbies. I know if Krista's in the chat, she is an avid fan of Furbies. They do not terrify anybody. She's an avid fan. I don't care what she tells you. She loves them. So once you type in what you're looking for and you hit enter, it'll search it. Now going back to the left-hand side underneath your Whatnot, now it has updated. So now you can actually filter it by like top results. You can filter it by products. You can filter it by shows, users, and categories. It automatically is going to show you the top items. If you go to products, if you click on the products portion, like toggle switch for the products, it's going to show you all the products that are there that are related to Furby. And then underneath all the filter by sections, you're going to see the sort by. So the sort by section is you're able to actually sort it by best match, lowest price, highest price, newly listed. And then as you scroll down further, maybe. Yeah. As you scroll down further, it has even more subcategories. So you can actually sort it by category. So if you're looking for a toy, you can sort it by the category versus a plush. You can sort it by the buy format, what the seller rating is. And then the other one is shipped from, because that's going to be key. I'll be the first one to tell you if I'm buying something, I'm in the United States, I want to order from the United States for shipping purposes. So you want to make sure you have that specified as well. And then it'll have where you can sort it by price as well. So when you're in the product, you have all those subcategories. The other functionality with the search is then we talked about first you can filter it by top products, and then you can also filter it by shows. So the products and shows toggle, they actually get more specific where you can get detailed down to dig into it. So just like the products, you can see best match, You can, the best match and related to it within shows, you can see viewers high to low, viewers low to high. And then it even goes even more detailed that you can do it by category, time of the show format, the tags that are on the show, seller rating, shipped from, and your reduced shipping. And then then if you were searching not for a product or within a show, you're actually searching for a user. There's a toggle switch for user that you can click on that, and that'll show you everybody with the Furby name. And yes, there are Furby users or whatnot, FYI.
There are furries out there too, but that's a different podcast.
Well, I was going to say, I wasn't going to go there, Bob. So you can, like I said, search by users. And then the last filter category, the filter sub toggle is categories. So what it came up with for categories was storage units and dolls for Furbies. Within those categories, you could search. So that's your main just search functionality. Very similar, like I like to say, just very similar to Google. One other key call out. I'm going to scroll back. So look over me, that I missed. When you're searching, you also have the functionality in the far right-hand side underneath your profile picture. You're going to see a saved button. You can actually save that search, so you don't have to go back and keep resaving it. It'll save your search. However you toggled it down to get to the specifics, you can save it that way. So then you don't have to sit and keep doing it every single time. I'm just trying to get us back. All right. So now we've gone over the basics. We've gone over the search function, and then to the far, not the far left, to the right-hand side, you're going to see an icon that looks like a, oh gosh, what's it called?
Message bubble.
Message bubble. Thank you. A message bubble with a heart in it. That is going to be for your notifications. No, not your notifications. That's for your activity as it's showing on the screen. If you click onto that, it's going to show your activity where you can see your purchases. So any purchases you've made, you can see what you've bid on. You can also see offers that you've sent, as well as saved items you have sent. So that's your drop down from your activity screen. And that's the, what do we say? The text bubble with the heart in it. That's your activity.
Yeah, that's a super important function, because when you buy something, if you're starting off as a buyer, and we recommend that probably when you first start, whatnot, is just kind of go in there, look around. If you see something you like, buy, just so you can see what the experience is like before you start selling. But I oftentimes go into that feature because not every reseller is the same, and sometimes shipping can be an issue. And you're wondering, like, where's my package? You can go to the order from there, see what you ordered, and then go to view order, and you can actually see the tracking information and the status of your order. So you can do a lot from that activity screen. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. That's something that I regularly use. So
absolutely,
I try to support my friends and try to buy stuff when I can. So
absolutely. FYI, I got my package today. Thank you.
I don't know what I sent you, but you're welcome. I think it was Care Bears.
Yeah, I think it was Care Bears too.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna toggle back 1 second. So we saw you have your search bar. Then we talked about the the text screen with the heart in it. Then right beside that icon, you're gonna have that text icon. That's your messages. So that's like your DMs, your direct messages, text messages that you're doing through whatnot. If you click into that, there are so many different components in here. So within, you can see all of your messages. So you have newest. You can actually toggle and go from newest to oldest. You can also have messages that are related to purchases. You have and all this information is on the far left. It'll say the toggle for newest, you go newest to oldest. Then you have your purchases, and then you also have unread messages, just messages you haven't seen yet. And that's on the left-hand side of the screen. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you have your little compose button. That's where you can actually send messages. You'll put in the person's name to send a message.
I got a question about messages, Ashley. Whatnot, I think recently made a change where if you're not friends with a buyer, it goes to
Mhm.
like a spam folder. So I
Yep,
just
I'm on
wanted to
it.
make sure that we mentioned that. I'm not sure if that's in here,
Yep.
but it's super important to note because if you're not friends with the buyer and they're trying to reach out to you, let's say you're a conductor of a train, they want to be on your rate train, but they're not following or we're not friends yet. Potentially, it could be hidden away inside your spam. So I would say
Mhm.
just double check that once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually great cue. Look at you, right on point, Bob. Right next to that right
We didn't
next
even plan this.
I know, we did it.
Even
Right
a
next
blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, Ashley.
So right next to that compose button, you have another text bubble and it has like a little small circle in the corner. That's your message request. So that's like exactly what Bob said. Messages you could get from potential buyers, other sellers that are messaging you that maybe you're not friends with them or they're not friends with you. So it automatically goes there. It's not going to come into your inbox. And then and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then beside that little text bubble that I'm saying is message request with a little circle, there's a box. That's your archive. So if you're like me, because the other one is you can't delete messages on Whatnot. So over time,
It's
your
forever.
inbox looks flooded. So like today, I archived so many messages and I just archive them so they're out of my inbox because I've already dealt with them. It's over and done with. Otherwise, it's just going to be you're scrolling for days for your messages. But I'm going to go back to that message request um, screen. So when that comes up, so for example, I have this user, which I hope nobody reach out. This user messaged me in regards to something, and it comes up and they're not following me, and I'm not following them. And it'll give you the message that you can see it, and it'll give you the option in the far bottom right hand corner of you can either decline that message or you can accept. If you decline, it's not going to notify that person or anything like that. If you hit accept, all it's going to do is move it to your inbox. So where all your messages are, it's just going to move it there. But that's where you can see your message request. And I'm not sure how long ago this updated because I was like, what is this? Because, of course, like I said, we're showing you the desktop version. On your phone, it's a little bit different. And I was seeing, you'll see like a red dot in your messages in a certain area. I'm showing you here on the desktop, but it'll alert it gives you somewhat of a notification, not really, but that's where it's going. And I've had different buyers slash sellers message me. And as Bob said, so you want to make sure that you're checking your message requests. You don't have to, you can decline them, you can accept them, whatever you want to do. Accept just moves it to your inbox of messages. That's it.
And I will just say for the record that we actually have done bulk purchases from people's collections through Whatnot, and they can sometimes like those deals or those networking opportunities can get lost in here. So you super want to make sure you check. Don't miss out on an opportunity to get something wholesale or create a connection or a business opportunity to grow your Whatnot channel. So and also a friendship maybe as well as the most important thing I think. So yeah.
Absolutely. Because there was, I think when I first noticed it, it was people asking to buy multiple things out of my buy it now. And I was like, oh, I do. What do you want? Okay, let me make that for you. Yes, I got you. So
Yeah,
yeah.
create a like special bundles specifically for them to help them with shipping and other things. So
Yeah,
yeah, all
absolutely.
things that are possible through Whatnot.
I've gotten sales leads through there too, where if like we're on an rate train and it's a 30-minute rate train, they caught me right at the end and they're like, man, I was just about to buy that. And I'll get those message sales leads through there. So definitely important to look at.
Yeah,
Yes.
any sale, even after the fact, which is great about Whatnot, right? Because even though you're live or you're part of a rate train, and if that stops, like Ellie was just mentioning, that's another opportunity for you to take those items, put it in your buy it now, your shop, or I think it's called the buy it now, right? Or your storefront marketplace, I think is what it's called on Whatnot, and yeah, potentially get a sale that way. So super important.
Yep.
Or they can tip you. Now, hear me out. They can tip you for an item, and you can add it to the package if they're underweight. I'm not saying I condone that, but if they're under their capped weight and they already purchased from you, and they're like, "Hey, I also wanted this item," you could technically receive a tip from them and put it in there. I'm not sure if that's terms of service. You'd have to double check, but I think that's an option. And I think Whatnot would probably likely be okay with that because it's another dollar earned. So for them,
they're getting their fees, I think, one way or another. Exactly. I'm not sure what the terms of services are on that, but it does save the buyer on paying double shipping. So I also recommend this without, at your own risk, I guess.
10 of 10 recommend trying that out. And we've done that before too. Just again, your weights and measures. We're going to have an entire episode based off that. So don't worry about shipping. We're going to cover that in probably an intermediate podcast regarding that a little bit deeper. So I know that's a burning question for a lot of people, and I'm sure Ashley's going to do a cursory overview of that shortly, but we're going to let you get back to the point.
Okay, no worries. So we're back to the main screen. So next to your message icon, the little text bubble, you're going to see this bell. That bell is your notifications. So what that bell is going to show you is it's going to show you, you can see if you were tagged in somebody's show. So you can see I was tagged a couple of times the other day in a couple of shows. You can see any tags in a show. You can also see sold items that may be sold out of your bin, as well as if you started getting new followers. So you can see new followers right here. And then the tags. And then the other one is once you finalize your shipping. So once you've printed that label, it's going to pop up in your notifications too that, hey, this is ready to be shipped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And just remember that you don't have to take notes or write any of this down. You can watch this and replay it in post-production or whatever. Once we load this, and you can pause the video along the way, make the screen bigger, watch it on your TV, whatever you need to do to be able to get the information to you. Just know those are all options for you. And we'll also be putting out a guide, I think, coming soon on some of the stuff that Ashley's covering today. So there'll be a PDF version of that coming your way, hopefully soon.
Yeah. So the other things I want to call out under the notifications is right under, once you click on it, you'll see it'll have notifications, and then it has sub categories. So you can see all your messages. So anything and all your notifications, I should say, you can see anything that's related to buyer, anything that's related to seller, and then also important. So if something highlights, it'll put important. I think sometimes, like, for example, one thing that would pop up as important is if you had a customer that canceled their order, it's going to pop up there to notify you, hey, they canceled, to kind of alert you. So when you go to do shipping, it's for you to approve or deny that cancellation.
I think offers can come through there too. So if you have a marketplace, I get a lot of notifications for offers sometimes because we my wife loaded. I don't notice how she's always doing my Whatnot for me, but she loaded some Funko Pops for me, and they've been selling pretty well through. So we've been getting notifications on there too. So just know when you have a marketplace, you can static sell on here. You don't have to go live. Is the point. So just know that this is another avenue for that. Is it the most robust in my opinion? No, it wins at live auction. That's where Whatnot kind of wins the day, but you can also have a marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something we've discussed in some of the Q&As on Whatnot. And people are like, can I just not go live? And I'm like, yeah, you absolutely can. I don't go live and I sell stuff out of my shop all the time. And I'm like, okay, cool. How'd you find me? Or I have people ask to buy stuff, message about certain items. So yeah.
Yep.
And then the next screen we're going to look at is this little present that's right next to the notification bell. This is your refer. So if you want to refer friends to help earn credits, or refer a seller and earn credits, which is something that I'll go ahead and tell you I need to work on. Because I don't know if y'all have seen one of the new updates with Whatnot is when people purchase, it'll pop up bought with Whatnot credits, and everybody's like, what are Whatnot credits? What? And it's like they basically didn't have to pay for it. And it's like, what? So once you click into either one of them, the refer a seller or refer a buyer or refer a seller, it actually gives you get new followers with your referral link. Referrals will auto follow you and will, yeah, whatever. People will follow you and see your shows first on the app for the first 7 days. So it kind of helps with that too. So how it works, invite your community, share your link. When they make a purchase, a $15 credit will be automatically applied. You can earn credit, receive $5 in credit after their first purchase. And then if you scroll down farther, I have one. So I'm going places, guys. So I'm just saying, and I already used my credit. I already used all of it. You can see, but it'll show you total credit earned, followers from referrals complete, first purchase pending, and then it's showing you all of those referrals. And then one that's at the very bottom of the screen. To the left-hand side underneath the options that it's telling you, it gives you that referral link that you can actually copy and share with.
I will just quick hot take on this too. If you broadcast, and Ellie and I have done this before, where we broadcast our whatnot streams to YouTube. When you do that, there's a way to set that up, and that's going to be in one of the advanced podcasts that we do. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But when you do that, and if you go to the Rocket City channel here, you can see some of my lives. It'll put a QR code in the right-hand corner. And basically what that is that's an opportunity for the person that's watching your YouTube channel to be able to scan that QR code and get that $15 credit that Ashley was just mentioning. So I just wanted to just give a little brief pause for those that might be broadcasting to YouTube, or might be a digital creator or a content creator that's also thinking about whatnot.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just saying, get the side hustle on. But all of that information's there that you can see it as well.
Yeah. So what Ashley's saying is go ahead and follow her and then go to her referral link.
Yeah, I was like, Ashley will start like, hey, here's my referral link. Go.
I'm gonna make, but this is my promise. After this is done, when this goes live or goes into replay, I'm gonna put Ashley's referral link inside the description. Yeah, I'm gonna put them all, but I'm gonna put all of them. But I'm gonna put Ashley's on the tippity top. I want what you guys to do. If you're new to whatnot, I want you to stop what you're doing. Use that referral link. Save yourself $15 first of all, right? Let's talk about that, and then go follow She Shed and bookmark her shows, and you won't regret it.
Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
So we went over the little present. So we're back to the main screen, the home page. Next to the present, you're going to see your profile picture. If you click into it, you're going to see your profile picture, your name. It's going to show how many people you're following and how many followers you have. If you click into that, and there's a whole bunch of sub toggles we're going to be digging into. If you click into that, it's going to take you to your main, like your home page for your buying. So from here, you can edit your profile. You can share your profile. You can see how many you're following, how many followers, like we said. It gives, everybody sets up their profile with what they sell, sort of thing, just a little blurb. So on the far right, you can see edit profile, how to share. On the far left, underneath your profile picture, you have different toggle switches. So you have shop. So that's going to show all of your items that you have, both active, inactive, all of the items that you have currently listed. You can see your shows, what shows you have upcoming. You can also see your reviews, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think is key. Your reviews is something you want to look at. We've had a few people ask on some of our Q&As about the reviews. Make sure that you're doing the best for your customer when you're shipping it. Yes, there are going to be instances where something happens, and I'll be the first one to tell you when we dig into some other stuff. You're going to see I'm not perfect by any means. And I think the question. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the same. Like we've had our run-ins. You can't make everybody happy. We were talking about this today, Amanda and I. There's 8 billion people in the world, and there's always going to be one that wants to, be that person. But just keep on keeping on, and do the best you can by your customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And we're not perfect, so there's times I mess up too because I've messed up a
Yeah, we're
couple of times.
human. When you're running a live show, this is a good point. Like, try
Mm-hmm.
to be as intentional as you can about calling out issues with the product if there are any, and also call out the fact that it has none. I mean, that is also a key factor in driving sales as well. Be like, this is a vintage item, but it's also a new old stock or whatever the condition of the item is, because that can help it sell. So by you being very descriptive, one way or another, you're going to set the expectation first of all. So now they're not going to leave you a poor review because you've set that expectation. Now, can it still happen even after the fact? Yes, because it just actually happened to my wife. She sold a Care Bear book, and the buyer, she called out that there was a name inside, and it was Stephanie's. It's live and recorded, but she decided to give her a poor review, saying that the condition of the item was not met or whatever, even though she called it out. So it can still happen. Just know that. Sometimes
so
people want to hear what they want to hear and not hear what you're saying. So, but if you're intentional like that, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get that one person. So don't let that deter you.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
that's all. Yeah, just be honest. That's mine. Is just be honest and upfront with the condition, and we'll dig into that when you're loading. If you preload your items, you can put that in your description, any call outs, and I always try to be very thorough. So when you have those instances and they're like, oh, well, hey, and it's like, well, if you look at your order, it has the item and it has everything, the description, it tells you right there.
Yeah.
Because I've had that happen. They're like, hey,
that's par for the course for every platform, even eBay and Poshmark and all of them. Like, you'll put into the description, there's a mark on the left foot or whatever, there's a toe missing. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. We sell a lot of plush, so don't come at me. So I'm just saying, you put all that stuff in there, they buy it, but they don't look at the last photo or where the condition is or in the description. Reading's fundamental, but it's not fun. So,
yep.
I think there's 3 key takes from that: is condition, right? And then description, and then value, because that's one of the other biggest complaints that I see is while we're live bidding, the customer doesn't always have time to look up the value of the item, and sometimes streamers will mislead you to believe that the value might be more, and then so bad reviews can come of that too.
True.
Value is a perceived notion, so everybody sees that differently. Some people see a lot of value and some people don't, so it just depends on that person and what they value. So
absolutely. So underneath your profile, we toggles. There's also a clip section. I didn't want to take pictures, but you can actually, and we'll get into that later, like your preferences, but you can actually get clips from people's shows.
Like West Virginia Panhandle Picker falling in the show and Krista Drifting Thrifters clipping it and then me putting it on YouTube. I see what you're saying there.
You can do clips like that. Yeah, you could do clips like that.
Go check that out, by the way. It's awesome. Live on one. Love you, Sean.
Hey.
Love you, Sean.
Dang.
Seriously, though, go follow West Virginia Panhandle Pickers. That was pretty funny. He's okay, by the way. It's okay to laugh.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I think the only clip I have is Gulf Coast Pickers. I have Christine's. She showed her dancing to Ice Ice Baby when she was little.
Nice.
Oh.
All right, so we went into our. Huh?
I missed that one, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna post it on social media, but
I will.
I know you will, so I'm probably not gonna send it to you. So you missed it, sir.
Oh well, damn. I'll have to get with the plush queen picker.
You might have to get with the plush queen picker.
I'll ask your permission.
All right. So back to our homepage. We're under our profile. So we had clicked on our profile picture. Underneath the toggle of our profile picture is what we just went over. The next section is you have like 6 bubbles. This here, right here underneath your name, you have the option you can toggle between selling and buying. It's currently under selling. It gives you options for shows, orders, inventory, shipments, finances, refer a seller again. You got Seller Hub, friends, account settings, account permissions. All these we're gonna touch on all of those, as well as help and legal, and then that's where you can sign out. But what we're gonna look at is the first box. It's your shows. So if you click into your shows, another screen is going to pop up. On the far left-hand side, you're going to see upcoming, and then you're going to see where you can look at past shows. So upcoming is going to show all the shows that you have coming up. Underneath that upcoming, you have the options to do open show, edit show, clone items, start sharing, cancel show, or enable private mode. So for most of whatnot, and when we get into, we're going to dig into setting up a show. You can actually do it as a public, or you can do a private show that you could just, if you want to invite a couple of people, if you want to practice and see what that looks like, you can do that as well. So under the upcoming, that's what you're going to see. If you click onto your past shows, and this is a key feature that I slowly learned about. I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's been a few months. I've never done it this way, and this has been a game changer for me. In your past shows, it actually gives you an option, that clone items option. So if you click on that clone items under whichever show, like say you did a Disney show or you did whatever, you did a show and you had items in it and you're like, hey, I want to take some of those items and put into an upcoming show. You're going to click into whichever show it is. You're going to hit click. You're going to click on the clone item icon or little toggle, and then it's going to take you to another screen. The first thing you need to do is which show should these products be cloned to. It has a drop down. It automatically puts all your upcoming shows that are coming. You need to select which show you want to put it in. Once you've selected that show, it's going to give you, for example, the show that I'm showing, it says I have 908 products available for cloning. So that's looking at, and then remember, the key other functionality that I want to call out is anything that you sold in that show is no longer in this auction. It's gone. So this is
That's
only
really important.
unsold auctions and your buy it now products that are available.
Yes.
That's very super important to note, because if you're scared that you're going to clone something over that previously sold, it doesn't allow for that.
Yeah, it won't let you do that. So you can't mess that up. Underneath the amount of items, there's actually check boxes next to, there's one that you can hit select all. So if you want to take all these items that you had in that show you just had, you can click on select all. It's going to automatically check everything. You have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see on the far right-hand side, you'll see clone all. Then a box will pop up and it'll say, this is going to take a few minutes. And are you okay with that? I can't remember exactly. Sorry, I didn't get those pictures. And you'll click on okay. And then what it's going to say is like, okay, it's going to take a few minutes. It pops up twice. And then sometimes it'll open up a new screen. It'll show you, open up that show to show you that it's all in there. If you're not wanting to select all of the items, you're wanting to pick and choose, that's where you're going to have to go and individually click on what items you're wanting to clone from this past show to put into a new show.
This looks a little different. Huh? It looks a little different when you do it on a phone. We'll have to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call myself out. I don't have the functionality to do it on my phone. I don't have an iPhone. It won't let me do it. I have to do it on the computer.
Oh.
So that's the difference between Android and Android and iPhone function differently due to the application programming features that are available in the, I won't go nerdy on you, but there's an APK or SDK that's used to program, and you have to do it differently for applications. So that's why that is. So just know that your Android and iPhone will function differently, but the concepts are the same. So which is really important to note. So if you listen to what Ashley's saying, pause it upon review and go back to it and then reference it with your phone. I think what she's saying is like the way to kind of drill down into it, you'll see the similar functionality. The menu may look different, but just know that the functionality is still the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then, so basically you can select all or you can pinpoint, and then it's the same concept. You have to scroll all the way to the bottom and hit clone products, and then there'll be 2 pop-up boxes that pop up, and you just click OK, and it'll import it. It just clones it into that show. So instead of me, guilty, going through and trying to go, okay, I want to put all my books and search books, which are inactive, which are active, and import each individual one, or sit and go through a whole laundry list. This is so much better. So much better and faster.
Yeah, we'll just put like a hash mark underneath this as a caveat. Make sure you're checking the clone feature. Only because recently Amanda discovered, I don't know if I'm frozen. I think I might be frozen. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can see you.
So recently Amanda caught a few issues with clone coming over, not bringing everything over. So just once in a while, do a quick audit is my point. I just wanted to make sure that you take that into consideration when you're doing the clone. It is a very powerful tool, and it works exactly like Ashley said, but also checks and measures. Trust but verify always. So
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, and then I would say if it's an item you already have preloaded, I'm guilty of it too, and it's a key point to bring up. If you preload your items and you're running a show, and it's happened to me several times, and it might be a glitch with the system, be it, as we like to say, whatnotting, or whatever it is that happened, user error, you can actually just import that item during your show as well. I'm not going into those details, but
it's advanced. Come
yeah,
back
that's
for
a little
the
bit
deets.
more advanced, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I already went over the functionality of within the show section of the different functionality you have there. The other call out, and maybe I'm gonna throw it to chat, to throw it to the group, but the other thing that I have learned, and I think it's updated, there's been some updates, but sometimes within these functionalities under your shows, it'll have restart show. But I think it's it has to be that same day and within so many hours. So say if you went live and something came up, or you're like, you're on for an hour, you didn't sell anything, and then later on you're like, hey, I'm gonna hop on. You can actually restart your show that you can continue selling.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if you can do it through the phone. You'll have to double check me.
No. You have to do it it has to be done from the desktop. You cannot do it from the phone.
Right.
Yes, this actually happened to me just recently.
Just in case you start your show and end it accidentally, and Ellie could speak to that, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
So I was editing my show and I was adding stuff. I accidentally hit the go live button on a Ray train that I was not supposed to be live at that time. So you see me live for like all of 3 seconds going, oh shit. I ended the show and lost pre-bids. I lost all my listings, which I could clone, but I had about $50 of pre-bids that I was like, I just lost $50 or $60 in sales. So yes, you can go back live, restart that same show, and regain those pre-bids. It does have to be, I believe, within a 2-hour period.
That's what I couldn't remember how long. I know one time I tried to do it and it was later on and it didn't work. It wouldn't pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a get out of jail free card. So just make sure that you're aware of that. That's super like hot take right there. Make sure that you understand that. And if you're not understanding, please feel free to message us. Even if you don't want to put something in chat, maybe you're embarrassed to ask. I want you to feel free to, comment us, message us privately. You can, all of our screen names are pretty much the same as you see here on screen on Whatnot. You can also reach out to us on Whatnot and message us if you're new there. And just feel free to, we're a community. We're resellers, and we're for that. And that's the point of this podcast. So I just wanted to mention that as before we continue moving on. So
yeah. Okay. So still within the show functionality, there's also on the far right-hand side, there's some toggle buttons there. This one, I'm going to be 100% transparent. I am not familiar with. It is OBS Tools. If you click into it, and I'm just touching on it, if you click into that OBS, show OBS Tools, it gives you a breakdown of, you can learn more about OBS, all the different functionality, everything else. It also, as you scroll down, has a how to stream OBS, first time step instructions, going live, view required settings, all that information, frequently asked questions, and troubleshooting. All of it's right there. I just want to touch on it. I'm not familiar with it. So
Ellie and I have both used that feature. It does require a little bit of tweaking when you first start. There's a great tutorial that Whatnot put out on their site that explains and walks through that. It's also on YouTube as well. So know that exists. It's an option if you want to stream to, let's say you want to stream to Facebook, you want to stream to YouTube. I think can you stream to Instagram as well? I want to say you can at least do YouTube and Facebook for sure. So that I do know.
Yeah, I'm not positive, but I do know, like, if you've ever seen, sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
So like, I didn't know what OBS was, but if you've ever seen streamers have like banners running across their stream, or split their screen in half sometimes, like where you can see the bottom half is like their hands, the top half is like their face. They're using more than likely the OBS, and it's a free tool that you can just learn to use. So
you can see that a lot in card break shows. Like if you're watching someone sell Pokemon cards or rip and ships, they like to show their hands on camera. It's actually required by Whatnot. You can't take the product off camera. You can actually get your hands slapped for that. So when you're doing blind bags or anything like that, you got to actually continually show your hands. You cannot at any time take that product off screen. So just a real quick tip. But yeah, OBS is a powerful tool. You can do overlays. You'll see like certain streamers have overlays where the screen's on fire or whatever is going on. There's a lot going on. You can stream music through OBS to your Whatnot show, and the quality is amazing. So there's a lot of tools or a lot of things you can do with that tool. And we're not going to get to them today, but know that is something we can cover later on.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Then next to the OBS tools on your show page, you have going live help. So let me go ahead and tell y'all, boom, when you click into it, there is search functionality. So if you have any questions, you can actually search kind of what you're looking for. As you scroll down, it gives you how-tos, prohibited or restricted items on Whatnot, a whole bunch of information that you just click onto. Like kind of frequently asked questions. You can adjust the microphone, different things, but it goes through all of that, and there's search functionality within it. There is a lot of information on Whatnot that you can, they have tutorials, as Bob was saying, walkthroughs and stuff, and they also have kind of walkthroughs as well as videos to help guide you. So this is a going live section is really a good section that is walking you through different steps. So, and I know in the past with onboarding, they go through a lot of information, and it's a lot that you're coming out of, and to go back in and like really dig into, get that help, make sure you're doing it and not looking into it so you feel more comfortable. And then sorry, go ahead.
So we lost Bob. Keep going.
Oh, keep going. We lost Bob. Oh, so the next functionality under your shows is you have where you can actually schedule a show. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to schedule a show. So when you click into the schedule a show, it's going to have all your little drop downs. So first and foremost, you got to have a title for your show. You got to have a title. It can be, you can put, like for this one, I just put TBD, to be determined. Whatever your title is, make sure it's appealing. It kind of is saying what you're doing, that sort of thing. That's going to be what they see. You want to also make sure you have underneath that name of your show, you have show date. So make sure you're putting as a drop down, you can click on it and click on the date that you want to do. And then you want to have your set show time. So next to your showtime, it's going to have the option of repeats. So this is another key feature. that I say is underutilized at times. So you have the option to either does not repeat. You can do something daily. You can do it weekly. You can do it monthly. So if you're doing a show every Saturday and it's the same show, you can actually do weekly and set it up that way. Yeah. So for example, I set up a weekly show. So it says every 1 week, and it says after number of shows, or on this date you want to stop doing that show. In the drop down. And then to the right of that, you're going to see there's a plus minus. So you can, raise up. I think it's up to 10 is the max. I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I think so.
I think it's 10.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think 10 is the max you can do. But you can put it all the way to 10 on that section as well. So on my example, you'll see a title, show date, time. I'm repeating it weekly. I did it after 5 shows. We're not going to do it anymore. Then underneath that section, you're going to have your primary category. So this is going to be the category that you're mainly selling in. So underneath that category, you'll see recently used. So if you've done a lot of shows, you're going to see those frequently used categories. So for like mine, I have community, other toys, plush, and vintage toys are some that popped up as my regular. But if you click onto the primary category, there's an actual drop down. You can search. So if you're searching for a specific category, you can search that and it'll pull it up. The drop down menu, it has a plethora of categories. So some examples like trading cards, sports memorabilia you're seeing. If you click into those, it kind of goes down a little bit more, that it bullets it down like, okay, within the trade, for example, estate sales and storage units. If you go into that category, it'll say estate sale, garage sale, whatever. It'll give you subcategories. You're picking that main category within it. And then once you've picked, oh yeah, that's just showing you some more examples, tons. Oh, I think I went too far. So that's your primary category. Oh, wow. Primary category. So you can select down and drop through that. So I selected other toys because that's one I use frequently. Then the next option it's going to ask for is your primary selling format. So your options are auction. You can do a buy it now, or you can do surprise sets. So auction style is going to be you're running the item, and that's normally how I do a lot of my shows. Some of my shows I've done as buy it now that I've gone live, and I have so much, like, for example, I think Black Friday, I did a book sale Black Friday, and everything was in the bin and it was already marked down. And I just kind of showed it on screen, the items, but it's all in the buy it now. Nobody had to fight over it. It's you either snagged it or you didn't. And then the last option is the surprise sets. This is not something that I do. My recommendation with the surprise sets is make sure you're looking at all the information that is on whatnot in regards to the surprise sets. If you're running it, there is so much information on whatnot. You want to make sure you're following those guidelines when it comes to surprise sets. Is key because go ahead.
If you play a game on whatnot, go ahead, Nelly. I'll let you go first.
I was just going to say, make sure to check those terms of service because it's an easy way to get the boot if you're not following those rules.
Mm-hmm. There are opportunities to play different games. At least we're in the beginning. I think they kind of put the hammer on, but they still have like where you can spin a wheel and other things. I don't prefer that type of selling. To me, just give me the product at the price I want. That's more of my type of show. But if you're that type of person that likes to have that type of entertainment, and there are folks out there that enjoy that type of show. So if that's for you, just be careful with your account. Treat it as importantly as you should, because if you feed whatnot, it'll feed you, like all the things. So, and I apologize for my connection, by the way. This is an alternative laptop because my primary laptop decided it did not want to work. So sorry about that.
All good. But yes, so look into that. Like we said, make sure you're following guidelines. So that's your primary selling format. I normally do auction, so that's what you're going to see. Underneath that, you're going to have a tag section. you can select up to 3 different tags. So basically, I'm going to throw one out there. So if I had set my show up as a plush and I had a Jellycat, I'm definitely putting Jellycat as a tag. So basically, your show is going to come up with your show title, your category, and then underneath that, it's going to have a subcategory that they'll be able to see. And that Jellycat is going to be like, what? They have Jellycats? Holy crud, I'm coming in. So that is what your tag is. It's highlighting the items that you have within that category. So if you were running some of the drop down, same thing as the one before, you can actually search within it. So it has different different subcategories. So dollar starts, Disney, a whole plethora. You can
Don't
search
choose
it.
Squishmallow.
There is Squishmallows. Yes, there
Don't
is
do it.
Squishmallows. I mean, there's a
Nobody wants
lot.
this.
There's a lot of tags that you can utilize, but sometimes I'll be honest, I don't utilize them. I just run with the main one, but those tags, they do help. They do help with letting your customer know what items you're going to be having.
Yeah, it uses what's called meta tagging for data. When they do a search, it'll help them get to your show easier. So Ashley is absolutely 100% correct. Make sure you're trying to put tags in there, at least for a few different items. It only allows for so many, but
yeah, it only lets you have 3.
important.
Yeah.
3.
I wish they did kind of change that, but I get why they're not doing that. So.
Yeah. And one other call out, just because it's coming up and to kind of put everybody's eyes on it. Sometimes Whatnot does promotions that you can add a tag to it to your show that'll kind of help. Like we've had different Comic-Cons. You had Black Friday. I think football, I think it's the 7th through the 9th. They're doing 4% commission. So to be 100% transparent, my shows, I think it starts midnight on the 7th. There's information on Whatnot. But it starts after midnight on the 7th and runs till midnight on the 9th. But putting those tags in your shows kind of helps get more eyes on it because you have that tag as well. So just throwing that out there with tags too. There are promotions that run that they have special tags and they send that information. I think most of the time when you go to it'll pop up. They're really good about letting you know about those promotions that are coming up.
And if you have sports related items too, now's a good time to do a Whatnot show. If you have anything that because of the championship game, anything Patriots related or that's trending right now. If you want to do a specific theme show, this weekend would be a good time probably to get that sold through.
Yeah. Yep. So underneath those tags, the next option you're gonna see is moderators. So normally, and I will say I know normally and I tested it today, which was crazy. But normally you can only have up to 5. It was allowing me to keep adding people. But you can actually, your moderators are people that I would say people that you highly trust, that will help moderate. So that means help with what's going on in chat, or in the chat. Also, they can help with like promoting, like check out the auction tab, that sort of thing. These are, I would say, trusted people that are going to help support you, that you're going to put as moderators to help support you. But you can, normally it's 5. When you go live, you can add as many as you want. Desktop was letting me add more, and I was like, holy crud.
So you can add them to your screen. That's a good point. So if you're in a show and some of the people that you've keyed in on the desktop, maybe they're not on, but there's someone that's actually that you trust that's on and is willing to do it. Maybe they can only do it for 15 minutes. You can just click on their name. And I believe it pops up a menu, and then you can add. It says allow to moderate. But Ashley made a good point. Make sure you're trusting that individual because they do have the right to ban and kick people from your show as an option. And if they want to, this is kind of icky, but if they wanted an item and they didn't want the other person to fight for it, they could potentially kick or ban someone without you really realizing what's going on. So it's super important.
I've also seen trolls.
Yeah. There are plenty of those on the internet.
Can I mod for you? Yeah, can I mod for you? And then all of a sudden your show goes berserk. They're blocking everybody out. You don't know what's going on, and they're just dropping ridiculous stuff in the chat. So be careful. Definitely have somebody trustworthy.
Yes,
be careful. Grow your community, grow your show, grow your presence first. And if you're getting to the point where you're overwhelmed with being able to scroll through chat, maybe employ a friend, a family member, someone else that's not on Whatnot to actually run your show with you potentially. I personally have my wife to lean on. She comes into my shows and she does all those things for me and keeps me on track. So if you don't have that, you can have a friend come over and say, "Hey, listen, we're going to grill today, and then we're going to do a Whatnot show. We're just going to hang out and do the thing, and whatever you need to do to entice them." So they come on over.
Absolutely. The next, underneath your moderators, once you've added, you're going to see media. So this is your thumbnail, the picture that's going to be shown for this specific show. You can, if you don't add a picture, it's going to automatically just put your profile picture as that picture. And then you also have an option to add video. I think that's beneficial, especially if you're doing a specific themed kind of show. You can sit and do a short video and scan to show them the items you're going to be having in your show. But those are options to put.
It'll help you with pre-bids too. If you're a freeloader and you have a video as well, that's going to grab their attention. Then they're going to come through your buy it now. They're going to pre-bid on your items for your auction. So that's very, a picture's worth 1,000 words, as they say, and a video is worth even more. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So now the next section, your shipping settings. So there are different options within here. You have the free pickup underneath the shipping settings. So if you want someone to be able to pick up that they're close to you, that you can do free pickup, that they don't have to do shipping, you local pickup for the show, I guess, you can toggle that switch over. It's not something I do. So
I've tried it a few times with mixed results.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you get ghosted after the fact.
Yeah. And
but that is an option because I know Mama Cat Thrifter. I'll call her out. She's getting a lot of attention on Whatnot. She's really doing well. And one of the things she does offer is local pickup, and she has a buyer that's 45 minutes away, and they keep on adding to their purchase order. So it can help you drive sales, and it can help you drive your business. So just know that is an option. So.
So shipping, I'm not going to go too detailed. This is how my domestic shipment that's underneath your pickup. The next option is domestic shipments. This is how mine is set up. I have eligible shipments under 3 ounces, toggle switched over for USPS first class mail. For domestic shipments from 1 to 5 pounds, I have UPS flat rate boxes. And then for domestic shipments over 5 pounds, I utilize the flat rate boxes, which might be something I'm looking at maybe switching. It just depends. I haven't had any issues with it on my end with packaging. I know other people do different settings. This is what I utilize for the flat rate, not the UPS first class envelope. We've touched on this before on some of the Q&As. If you do giveaways, be it a trading card, be it a sticker, be it a gift card, something of that nature, if it's something that can fit within an envelope, that's what this is going to do when you do the UPS first class mail letter. So in the past, when I first started with Whatnot, I was doing crazy giveaways. On those giveaways, I was spending $5. Utilizing the smaller giveaways, be it gift cards, whatever it is, I'm only being charged 78 cents shipping. So that is helpful.
Yeah, what Ashley's talking about it's called PWE, plain white envelope. And basically what it is if you do a giveaway, you have to do it as a sticker. And then inside your shipping options, you turn on first class mail, and then you go back to your giveaway and put 0 to 1 ounces. And basically what that does is when you're creating the way, it sets it'll know that it's a sticker. It's a plain white envelope. It's 78 cents. You put your card stock or whatever, your sticker, your gift card, something that can fit in a plain white envelope.
Correct.
And get that right. So, and the only thing about that, I'll just say a caveat, is that it's not scannable. So it will not track. So if you do too many of them, it can affect your account health. So if your account health is suffering, I don't recommend doing too many of them because it's not scannable, so therefore it can't track, so it can't affect your account health. So just note that is an option to do to reduce the cost of giveaway and increase followership. But it also those are just some key points to mention. And we'll have a walkthrough on how to do that PWE. And I think Jack's Treasures actually did one. If you're not following Jack's Treasures on Instagram, they did a walkthrough of that, and it was very well done. So shout out to Tracy over at Jack's Treasures.
Okay. Yeah, and I think the key point is it has to fit in an envelope. So you can't do, I'm going to give away a 2-pound item. No, it has to fit in that.
You're not going to stuff Pokemon. You're not going to stuck one of these guys in there.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And your postmaster is going to think you're crazy.
Yep. And then underneath, sorry. Go ahead, Ellie.
I was going to say, I think the limit for the thickness of the envelope is 1/4 inch. So
it's good to know.
Okay. And then underneath after you do your, your shipping settings, your domestic shipments, it'll have shipping costs. So this is something that it is entirely up to you. Shipping costs, basically you can have the option of the seller pays all the shipping costs. Buyer pays up to a set shipping cost that you can actually set up a certain one, or buyer pays all shipping cost. So those are your toggle switches. Mine is set up, buyer pays up to a set shipping cost, which is $9.21. And when your show starts, you'll see that banner that says reduce shipping. And to me, that's somewhat of draws people in. And the other caveat with it too is that once they have depending on the weight of your items, once they have reached that $9.21 on shipping, everything else after that, they have free shipping. So I know as a buyer, once I have free shipping and I know I have free shipping, game on. What else you got? Because I'm about to load that box. I already paid the shipping.
Why Ashley buys so much from me.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, if I buy something, I'm looking to see what else you have.
I'm one of those, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'll take care of the rest of your shipping, whatever, whatnot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In the hopes that you're going to buy a ton from me, so I'll make it up in the difference. So that's the idea behind that.
Yeah. And then
we'll go into that more though in another show. So
yeah. Then this was weird to me because I have never seen this. Under your show options, it has a toggle switch. You can actually disable pre-bids. So you can turn this on to disable any pre-bids in your show, so no one will be able to be pre-bid. And I was like, what? And I'm like, well, I could see if you're having issues, but I don't know why I would toggle that off, but I thought that was interesting. I'd never seen that.
You want maybe to hold interest so that someone doesn't come in and put a max bid in.
True.
Maybe it's to create the illusion of a fight or create a fight within your show, which can also
deter.
You've never seen two people fight over an item that you never wanted to begin with. For some reason, it makes you want that item more. I'm sure there's some behavioral science behind that, but so basically, you're seeing two people want something. You're like, all of a sudden, why are they wanting that? It makes you wonder. So then you make it in there. So I'm not that type of person, but there are those out there that shop that way.
Yeah,
so I can see maybe there's a little bit of strategy there.
Yeah, true. Then underneath that option, you're going to see content settings. So you can set your primary language on what you want it to be. Explicit language, for me, I sometimes use it, and only when, for example, when I have music that has explicit lyrics, I just like to do the toggle switch over to let my audience know, like, hey, it is what it is. I think we're all adults, but, I do that. You can also put muted words, like words that you don't want anyone typing into chat. You can pipe those in as well. And then underneath your content settings, the two I just talked about, you're going to see show discovery. So this is where you can make this public, where everybody can see it, or you can make it private, where it's only way that anybody would come in is if you shared the link to them.
I have done just really quickly, Ashley. I will say that I have had opportunities where I could do a private show with a buyer. They're a serious collector. We have, X amount of things. We have done private shows where they're spending, anywhere from $60 to $200. We've had one sale one time for $250 from a private show. So you can create that boutique feel if you'd like. If you're a clothing reseller or shoe reseller or something like that, I could see where you would take more time with them, maybe even dress them, right? You're saying, okay, this item goes with this item, these shoes go with these pair of pants, or whatever the case may be. You can create that boutique feel if you have that serious of a buyer and create a private show doing so. So I just wanted to take a moment just to say that is an option. You share that link with them, they come in, and it's just you and them. So
Absolutely. And then the last subcategory is promote show. So this is where you can reach a wider audience on Whatnot by promoting your entire show. With that being said, it's saying $25 an hour. Suggested budget for results is they're telling you $20 to $30 per hour. And then it kind of gives you promotional summary, what that looks like, but it's estimated total spend on it. And then there's also a blue little link that says learn more. But this is where basically Whatnot is going to, I guess, to the analytics, they're going to help promote and put you up there to get more people into your room. But that comes at a cost. So that's what I just want to highlight and make sure you're reading into this and what that looks like before toggling that over and doing it.
If you have the budget, it's like any other business, right? You have marketing and you have expenses like that. So if you have the budget for your business to be able to do that, it's basically a kind of like a billboard or pay to win situation where you can do it. And I'm the reseller that goes in other people's shows and does this for them. I boost them because there's usually not an item that I really need, but I want to be supportive. So be that person too if you can. But basically what you're doing is you're having a budget. Think of it that way for marketing and tools. Can it lead to sales? I've yet to see that on my side when I have tried it, but it was in the early days. Hey, Tiny Toys. So it was in the early days, but I have done it for someone like Mama Cat Thrifter, and she's reported back the next day, Bob Everett, as soon as you promoted me to that, I ended up with this amount of sales. And I was just like, wow, I don't think I was a reason potentially, but it did put her in a different category for a moment where she was actually, they have those premier, like what's hot or what's trending, like on Whatnot, it'll bump you up in the algorithm and it'll put you in this, like what shows that are hot right now. So what that did for her is because she already has a hell of a following, right? She's already got these many people, but me doing that for her, it bumped her up a little bit and got her in there, and she had an incredible night. I'm not saying that I'm the reason for that, but there is some strategy there. So if you're right on the cusp of becoming premier, or if you're right on the cusp of, moving into that next category, it could be a strat to do that.
Absolutely. And then the last functionality, not the last functionality. The last thing to do is after you've gone through all that trouble of doing everything, then hit schedule your show, and it's boom, ready to go. So that's
the hardest
all
part.
the details of scheduling. Yeah, I know. Now it's scheduled. Now it's
I see this at work all the time. I'm a software engineer for those that are new here. I've talked about it before, but like analysis paralysis, I see this at work a lot. We'll sit there and we'll just go over in our minds, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is my strategy. This is all the things. And then it comes time to execute. And you're just like, yeah. So for whatever's holding you back, I want to be your encouraging word to get out there and start. That's the hardest part. Make sure that you're being intentional with that time. The hardest thing you'll ever do is to grow yourself, and Whatnot can do that. So if you're a static reseller or you're just getting started on live selling, just know that get started is the message. So don't become paralyzed by the analysis or the thought process in doing it. Take chances, grow your business. Take a chance on yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got our show scheduled. The other functionality underneath your profile is we're going to look at orders. So the orders button has a little bag. When you click into there, you're going to have on the far left-hand side, you're going to see a drop-down menu where you can hit all shows and marketplace. You can actually utilize that drop-down menu, and it'll break it down. Like, you could just look at marketplace, you can look at upcoming shows, you could look at, what show happened, to go into specific shows to see, to get your orders down to that listing. And then right beside all shows and marketplace, there's another toggle down where you can see all statuses. So you can see created, processing, completed, and cancellations on your orders. And then on the far right-hand side of the screen, you can actually search orders. So with that being said, just like the search function, you can search orders by the actual item. So look at all those Furbies I sold. Krista's going to be so excited. She didn't get none of them. But look at all those Furbies I sold. But
now
you
she
can
doesn't have to look at them anymore.
I know, right?
Oh man.
You can search by the actual order, like the item. You can also search by an order number for it to come up that specific item as well. So it has that functionality of both item as well as the order number that you can search within there on orders.
So regardless of what regardless of what you're selling, what you're going to see is trend. We call it trend analysis where I work, where you see patterns and things that sell. You'll get to know that your buyers, or you'll get to know a certain buyer and what they prefer. And when they come in the show, first of all, A, welcome them in. And B, I'm not telling you to be this person, but you know what they like. Why wouldn't the next thing that you pick up be what they might be interested in? Right?
Yeah.
So that's to do that. But, you don't just say when they first come in, hey, by the way, I got this. No, you greet them, treat them kindly, and then say, hey, listen, by the way, or you don't even have to say, hey, listen, by the way, you just run this guy. Who doesn't want this?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Just advice before you keep on
going. Yeah. So that's your order screen. Basically just short and sweet order screen. The next icon we're going to drop underneath your profile picture is you have inventory. So your inventory is going to show all of your items. So it's going to show, you can actually toggle between active items as well as draft items that maybe you have something in drafts, and then your inactive items. You also and all that is the three menus are on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side there is a search function. So if you're looking for a specific item, you can search that item as well. Then the next one too, I think, yes. You can actually sort your newest to oldest as well on your products, like your newly listed items, because what y'all are seeing are newly listed items at the top, but you can switch it to oldest. And then under the inventory screen, you can actually create a product here. So if you click into the create a product, that's where it's going to have all the information. And that's what we were talking about earlier. You want to make sure you have good pictures. So if there are flaws, you want to show front, back. You want to show as many pictures as you can and highlight those flaws so they can physically see it on the picture. That's where you're going to put your product details. So that's where you want to be specific. All that's kind of on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you have your pricing. So you're going to determine, is this a buy it now item or is this an auction item? If it's a buy it now, it gives you the option for, if you want to put it on a flash sales toggle switch, accept offers toggle switch, if you're reserving it for a live on the right-hand side, and same with the auction. It'll give you the option for that too. As you scroll down underneath the picture option for your product details, you want to make sure you're putting it underneath a category. You want to make sure you have a title. Title is key. Some call outs, which we'll go into more detail as we go, but make sure you have a good title. The description, you want to make sure that you're being specific. Or if there are any flaws, anything, you want to put that in there. Then you're also going to want to put quantity. So if you have more than one, I always try to title mine, if I have more than one of the same item, buyer's choice of one or choice of one, and then I have a quantity if they're identical or similar in that, your quantity. And then back on the right-hand side, you have your shipping profile. So this is where you want to actually weigh your item. I'll go ahead and tell you, I round up. So if it's coming up 3.5 ounces, it's 4 to 7 ounces. That's how I do my shipping. Is I look at how much it weighs, and then 2, you got to factor in what that looks like in the box. Which, yes, that's supposed to get calibrated into it, but sometimes it doesn't. So one thing to think about. That's why I round up. You also have the option if there's any hazardous materials, you want to make sure you're highlighting that as well. And then once you've done that, at the very bottom right-hand corner, once you've filled out everything, it's going to have, you can either save this as a draft, you can cancel out, or you can publish this. Once you publish this, it's live, meaning it's either in the auction tab or it's in the show. You put it in your auction tab for whatever show, or it's in your buy it now or your shop. And then, yes, the next functionality we're going to look at is shipments. So back underneath your profile picture, one of your boxes that says shipments, you're going to click onto that. And so the first thing you notice, Whatnot is helping us out and expressing it highly. Severe weather may impact USPS delivery times, and we're accounting for delays. Using the shipment scanner will keep orders marked on time. They're telling you that. Right up front. On the left-hand side, you have a toggle section where you can drop down menu that you can put all shipments, so that being it all your shows and marketplace, or you can toggle it between marketplace or whatever show you want to look at. And then right beside that, you're going to have another toggle down that you can hit all statuses, needs labels, ready to ship, unfulfilled, needs review, shipping, delivered, whatever you want. The toggle down. And then it's going to show all of your listings and everything else, your shipping that needs to be done. And then on the left-hand side, I want to go back just a hair. On the left-hand side, you'll see this open sidebar, and I'm calling this out because this is something that for me is crucial, but it has where, and I'll get to that in a second, sorry. Shipping action, you can export. It gives you different informations once you click on that sidebar. To scan all packages at drop-off, it has a QR code. Then down here, show actions, where you can export and then clone items from the show. But this is what I want to talk about. When they updated, you used to be able to automatically see this just pop up on your screen. It's under this closed sidebar. Every week, you get 5 adjustments a week. So say that I weighed something and I mistakenly said it was 4 to 7 pounds, and it's actually, or 4 to 7 ounces, and it's actually like 12 to 15, and I have to do a label adjustment. Depending on that item, I say that it depends on the item and how it's being shipped. It'll take one of your adjustments. So I think a better example is if I said I had an item that was a pound and it's actually 4 pounds, I have to adjust that because I royally messed up. So that's where one of your adjustments will get used. You get 5 adjustments weekly. I believe after 8 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, it resets and your new 5 start again.
Yes.
But that's where you can see that information is in the sidebar. Go ahead, Ellie.
Yep, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay.
I do think the adjustments is what counts as an adjustment. If you go from under a pound to over a pound, that's an adjustment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you adjust from 3 ounces to 7 ounces, that's free.
Mm-hmm.
If you go from, it's under a pound to over a pound. And then if you go from 1 to 5 pounds to over 5 pounds, that's an adjustment.
Yeah.
So why that is, I think, is because it uses different service methods depending on your shipping profile. So you normally 9 times out of 10, you're either shipping priority or you're shipping ground. And I think Whatnot tries to give the most proper or most least expensive way of shipping the item for the buyer. So if the item weighs a certain amount of money, it'll ship priority. If it weighs over 5 pounds, it'll probably likely ship ground because it's just cheaper, more affordable for the buyer. So I just wanted to caveat that with the reasoning behind there, the technology of it. So, and you can also custom ship or custom set up your shipping, and we'll get into that in more advanced YouTube channel. podcast where we talk about potentially setting up different shipping profiles or presets. You don't have to use the standard Whatnot ones that are available. You can actually custom do that. So shipping is an entire podcast in itself.
Yeah, shipping is a monster in itself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
We could talk about shipping for days.
I would say that's probably 9 times out of 10 the most frequently asked question in the Whatnot community. If you're on Facebook groups or reseller pages, like if you're following Tennessee Toys and Treasures on Facebook, and if you're not, you should. One of the questions she's often asked on there, and also Rocket City Resellers on Facebook. If you're not following, we appreciate you guys for doing that. And also Inside Resellers Refuge, another private Facebook group that we help other resellers on all platforms, not just Whatnot, in regards to questions. And that's shipping for everything. We sell everywhere. So just know that there are resources out there is the point, and people that are willing and able to help you and will not make you feel to be made to feel like your question's not important or make you feel bad about yourself. There's options, and we're a community, and just know that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So, Ashley, do you have time in your schedule here for talking about sourcing at all? How close are we here?
We're close. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to highlight just a couple other things and then move on.
I kind of want to talk about that because that's an important part of this, is if what sourcing looks like, because you want to be intentional with that when you're doing Whatnot. So
yeah, I got you. So underneath your profile, you have the finances section. So this is going to show you have your ledger, payouts, statements, and reports. You can actually toggle between all those, processing, completed, withdrawals, edit dates, all your finances. And that's just showing you I'm in negative right now, guys. Jeez. It's all good. After finances, well, I'm at negative right now. It is what it is. Seller Hub. This is basically what we talked about before. Similar, you can see your upcoming shows. You have your account health. You have the key highlight I want to bring up is the tutorials. These are videos that'll walk you through pre-show, showtime, shipping, up-level your day-to-day. Amazing tutorials, step-by-step, walk you through. Here's what I was talking about with the promotions right there. You can see what promotions are happening, and then shipping. I currently have 2 that need to be shipped when I took this picture. And then there's more videos down here that you can see. The one thing I want to highlight and look at is within this section on the far right-hand side, you have your account health. If you go in there and hit view all, like, look, I look amazing, right? Boom, let's get in it. So account health, you can see seller performance. So on-time scan rate, I'm at 100%. My defect-free order rate is at a 99.7. It'll walk you through. Yeah, I know it's horrible, guys. It was worse. It's been worse than that. But you can see how your account health works. It gives you community guidelines. You can see so much information.
So I can account for that point through really quickly. Are those giveaways that we were talking about earlier, those stickers that won't scan? I guarantee you that's what's causing that.
So, yeah, possibly. Oh no, it's not. I know what it's from. It's all good.
You have to say that.
I'm about to show you. Yeah, I'm about to show you what you're going to see anyway. But policy standing, excellent. But it's going to give you that rating, and it tells you got these blue links. Utilize them to learn more. So your account health. Oh yeah, we clicked in it, so we're clicking on it now. So within there, I go to the defect order, right? So that's where I'm at 99.7. This is give you a graph of your history, how to improve your rate. It gives you different information over here. Here you go. Boom. Defective rate. I had 2 canceled orders that I had to cancel on my end. So that's what's hurt. There were items that were damaged, that sort of thing, but it gives you that information down at the bottom. And then the next thing we're going to look at underneath the Seller Hub, you have your friends. So this is going to show everybody that you're friends with. And then you have your account settings underneath your friends. This is where what we talked about somewhat, but your privacy settings. You have toggle switches for direct message, activity status. You can set suggest account to others with the toggle switch. You can allow clips of you, or you can allow people to not clip you. Your past shows you'll be able to see, and then vacation mode is something I want to call out. If you're going on vacation and you have stuff in your shop, you need to toggle that on, because that shipping, you need to ship within 2 business days of that
That's
show.
a good way of ruining your account health.
Yes, that'll ruin your account health. So make sure you put it on vacation mode. That way, if anybody's buying out of your bin, then they can't buy out of your bin. It'll shut that down for you. And then the last few things, and all I'm doing is touching on them, and I don't know how that got there. Oh, we're done. The last things were in your sidebar. You have your account settings, which that is going to be for, I'm going to stop sharing. Sorry. Let me stop sharing.
I just want to say a bit about the sharing screen, by the way. Tiny Toys mentioned in chat that possibly not being able to see the screen on mobile. So just know that you can use this as a frame of reference and come back on desktop. And even better, watch it on your TV so you can have a even bigger screen as an option. A lot of people don't know you can get YouTube through a lot of smart TVs. There's an app for that, and you can watch them there as well and use it as a reference. So just because you can't see it on your mobile, don't be concerned. You can come back and I'm going to try to put timestamps as well to different subjects in this video if I can figure that out. So that way we can help you jump around the video if there's a certain section you prefer over others. So,
yeah.
All right, Ashley, back to you.
Yeah, just the last few little subcategories under your profile is account settings. That's all personal. Y'all are not getting that information. It has like I know, I'm just saying, your account settings, it has all your information with your profile addresses and your cards. So I'm like, y'all ain't getting that.
W2, or not W, was it? Your 1099 rather.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so we're all 1099. That's an important segue into that. Those numbers for me, we ended up getting 1099 from Whatnot this year. Even if you're not getting that, just know that you still have to pay your taxes. So don't be that person that doesn't do that. So you don't want they got Capone for it. They'll definitely get you. So I'm just saying, do your taxes. But anyways, yeah, that's an important part to figure out. And we're gonna want to talk about sourcing, Ashley?
Oh yeah, sourcing is, I mean, the magical thing about sourcing is you don't go out and go, a Jellycat, another Jellycat. Oh, unless you're Bob or Amanda, I'm just saying. But
some of us are just favored. Some of us are just favored, right, Allie?
Yeah, because I think last week I said I was not going to go thrifting. I said I'm not going to go. I decided, and then I think Saturday we decided to go. But I went out to get gas and all that, and then I was like, oh, I'll stop at the Goodwill. I walked in and walked right back out with nothing. It's not always gold. It's not, you're not going to find everything. Sometimes it's like baller status and you're on this high, like, holy crud, I found all this stuff. And sometimes it's nothing. And then sometimes it's like, do I tempt fate and keep going and push my luck, or do I stop while I'm ahead? So it's not always everything.
Yeah. I will say that for Whatnot, you need a lot of inventory to be able to be successful on Whatnot to a certain degree. Obviously, you can have inventory, and then there's excessive inventory and things of that nature. So it depends on like what mode are you in your journey. When you first start out, maybe just trying to pick a few things around the house that you can try to sell through to see if that's your passion and what you're niche down to, or what you're wanting to sell, and then kind of gauge your response in that category. So find something that you love to sell and sell that. Also, being able to find a lot of it. So what I mean by that is if we use the bins, outlet bins, as an option for buying at weight for items, and we buy a lot of it, and that's how we keep our prices so low, which is perfect for Whatnot, and we can sell through it fast. So there are those options. Also, storage lockers. If you're a storage unit person, you can potentially get a lot in a locker and part it out through Whatnot and make money that way too. So there's a lot of different ways to source. So Those are some of the two bigger ones, though, that you want to try to get as much inventory as you can. You'll notice once you get going on Whatnot, you'll be burning through inventory quickly. So, yeah.
And then I will say I would say you can also caveat, because I know there are some people that, like, for example, say you came across a whole My Little Pony collection. Maybe you do a My Little Pony show and it's not something you sell normally, but you just do that you could do that too.
Yeah, you can niche
Do a
down
one-off,
specifically. There are a few sellers that can cross category sell and do well. We just had one on the podcast, Ruth Ann, Four Seasons Picker. She's extremely well at cross category selling. Mama Cat Thrifter as well. She sells vintage Tupperware, and we're going to have her hopefully on the show soon, so that she can talk about that. But she also sells plush toys, books, nostalgia. She has just about a little bit of everything. So you can do it. It's harder sometimes. So it's easier at first maybe to niche, to gain a following and an understanding, and then slowly incorporate other things. So I think that's how most people that cross category do it, unless you're a storage unit seller. I think garage sales category and storage unit categories are likely probably the easier of the categories, even though they're probably the more competitive because there's a lot of people doing it. They're easier to maybe sell a bunch of different things. So if you have a lot of like varied items, potentially that might be your option. Whereas we're not just selling toys, but we sell toys and plush. So our community is, and every category is their own community too. And the fact that these sellers are cross category and creating a community across different categories, that's like a different level of status right there.
Yeah.
So, and there's tips and tricks along the way that we'll be covering, how to grow that business in 2026. And I just wanted to thank you guys. And Ashley, I know that's a lot of hard work and effort went into that. You did an exceptional job. I think I basically just witnessed a master class in Whatnot Beginner's Guide, quite honestly. And I'm not just saying that. It's a very complex subject, or it can be very intimidating when you first start. And I think you've simplified that down to a point where someone can kind of basically pick it up and run with it. And just know we are a community. You can reach out to us on Whatnot. I want to say that one more time. We're going to go around the horn on final words. Ellie, what are your thoughts on Whatnot?
Whatnot's a different beast than some of these other platforms to sell on. If you're new to live selling, follow along because we've got a lot of tips and tricks, years of experience within the three of us. And just be ready to do it. Just start. If you're thinking about it, if you're sitting back and just wondering if you should do it, just try it. Just do it.
Execution. You got to do it. But stop. If you're scared to death, that means you're doing it right. That means you're
absolutely.
You're not just surviving anymore. You're thriving, right? That's the difference between being terrified and not. If you're not terrified, you're just surviving it. So do better. You owe it to yourself. So, Ashley, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I mean, what we're trying to do on this podcast is help everybody grow. My skill set is Whatnot. That's where I'm selling majority of the time, besides booths and Facebook Marketplace drop sites. So for me, if y'all have questions, especially we're doing Q&As on Whatnot, bring those questions there of what you're wanting to see so we can dig into the topics that you're like, yes, I want to know more about this. So that'll help us bring it to the masses, because if one person wants to know how to do it, more than likely more than one person wants to know. So it's going to help everybody.
Yeah, if there's one, there's 1,000.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So also, I want to encourage anybody that's watching this in replay, make sure you put it down in the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe for future podcasts about Whatnot, if that's what your jam is. So get those comments in. We'll be able to respond back to you in kind and get a little bit more deeper into the weeds, and also give you reference points along the way. So we want to remind you guys, if you can't be good at it. We're going to get you on the next podcast. We're going to have actually on the podcast someone that I really
Jim.
am looking for. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about because he is a toy guy as well. Jimmy, Old School Flips. I cannot wait to meet Jimmy. We've been orbiting each other for a while on the meetup scene. I haven't had a really chance to sit down and talk to him, so I'm looking forward to meeting with Jimmy and talking more about him. So don't miss that episode next week. Old School Flips and New School Vibes. We'll catch you on that one. You guys have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Until next time. Maybe.